Alright, hey, what's going on, Smiley here, and welcome to the first ever episode of Just Another Game Show, which is definitely a working title, but we'll roll with it for now. I just kind
What
of
an
like it though.
excellent title.
Maybe it'll stay, it's like my genius is just at work there.
Yeah.
But this is going to be a weekly show, give or take, um, where I just sit down with a friend of mine or like a fellow content creator or something, and just chat about games and a little bit of anime, depending on what I've been watching, basically. Like the idea with the anime is that if they like anime, I'm going to tell them about the one I've been watching, and if they don't like anime, then I'm going to try and convince them that it's fantastic and that they should watch one. There's an anime for everybody.
And that's enough about anime.
Yeah, and now on to games. So yeah, I've been playing Guild Wars. This is literally just in the background. What have you been playing over the last month or so, give or take?
I have been playing The Witcher 3 solidly,
It's been out,
pretty
yeah.
much,
Yeah.
for the last 2 weeks. I've
Yeah.
finished it now.
How
That's
many
much I've been
how many
playing.
hours did you actually put into it?
It took me 82 hours to finish the game.
82 hours.
And that's doing a lot of side quests
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
I think it's just because
How many? Give it like if you
I'm a
taking
boss.
taking the question marks into account, like and then side quests. How many would you like percentage-wise side quest and question marks did you think you beat?
Maybe
Like
30%.
Of the question marks and what like 80% of the side quests?
Well,
or...
I'd say I found like a good half of the question marks, and then the side quests I'd probably estimate about 30%.
Wow. See, I've been
But that's
like
a lot of side quests.
that's what I mean. I've only just beaten the starting area, right? I've only just got through the starting area, and I spent about 3 hours in Novigrad. Wait, no, not Novigrad, is it? What's the Novigrad's the top area, right? What's the bottom one?
Velen.
Velen. Yeah, that's what I thought it
Yeah.
was. Didn't want to sound stupid though. Yeah, so I've been doing this, and I completely wiped the starting area of question marks, and I had so much fun doing it because there were so many things like to just go and explore, like so many just the way everything ties together is so brilliant, you know, like you do one quest and you find out something and you hear them talking about like something that went on,
Yeah.
and then you realize how they relate, and it's just so cleverly written, and then like you can read something and be like, oh man, this mentions some treasure, and you go look for that treasure, and it's there. Like the search for all the serpentine gear in the first
the
area
attention to
was
detail
incredible.
is the
Yeah.
best I've seen
Yeah.
in like any RPG.
And I don't know what difficulty you did it on. I'm on like playing it on Death's March first time through.
Yeah, I was seriously considering playing on Deathmarch. If there was like a dark difficulty, I would have played on that, but they didn't.
Yeah,
They haven't like included that as standard. I reckon they'll probably add that as a DLC,
yeah.
like they
I'll
did in The
probably
Witcher
put it
2,
put it
and then
later.
I'll play like another playthrough on that.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
I've been doing Death's March, and it's definitely challenging. You know, like
Yeah,
things like drowners and ghouls will kill me in 3-4 hits,
yeah,
and things like owl ghouls and rot fiends are sort of 2 hits, and I'll be down. The griffin was like a 1-hit kill with its pounce attack as well.
yeah.
So like, I'd be getting like I get wrecked a lot. I die, I don't know, maybe once every hour or so I die, and that's just me being careless.
Yeah.
But it's so much more fun because like
yeah.
everything in the game is just really hard. you
Yeah,
know?
I mean, for me, I wanted to just take in all the story first because I'm a massive Witcher nerd and
Yeah,
need
you
the
just wanna-
conclusion.
you
I was
just
just
wanna
like,
suck
need,
it, yeah.
need conclusion.
See, I'm not
please.
so pulled towards it. Like I don't know. I like the story and I'm interested in it, but I'm not sucked towards it. Like I don't need to consume it like I do for things that I'm attached to.
Yeah,
Whereas
I
this,
just think
I'm so much more interested in just
wondering
exploring.
about.
Yeah,
I just think the
taking
story,
everything.
like the way it will introduce things that you think are just like typical story tropes in the story, and then just completely subvert them in ways that
Yeah.
you just. I won't give away any spoilers, but
Like something else we know of. Yeah.
stuff happens that you're like, damn, that's a good twist.
That's a
And it's
good
clever
twist.
It's not a twist. It's not like Bioshock Infinite twist where it's like it's good, but it's like you have
Yeah.
no idea.
You
where
got
it came from.
you got a twist, yeah.
Yeah, it's more like a really like you kind of see it coming a bit, but the way it happens.
And then you're
is
like,
great.
oh, but that wouldn't happen. Then it does, and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, minor spoilers. I won't go into any details when I'm talking about The Witcher 3, but the ending, like I got a really good ending, and I was really happy with it.
Yeah.
But like a third of the endings are so depressing that if you get them, it will make the game worse for you. Like,
You're just gonna end it and be like,
you're gonna be
ah,
like,
fuck.
I fucked up. Like, this is wrong.
What do I
This
do?
is just
Yeah,
wrong.
I need to reevaluate this like 80 hours of my life that I just spent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
you only get that
actually
ending.
scared of that, you know.
Yeah, you only get. I doubt you'll get that ending.
Like
But
I know a friend of mine finished Dishonored, got the
Yeah.
bad ending, and just went shit, and then played through
Yeah.
the whole game again because they just couldn't live with that bad ending. So it was just like so gut wrenching for them because they were like they love that game and they were like
Yeah.
I was pretty invested in it too, but they were so invested in it. And they were just like, yeah, I have to beat it again because I need the good ending, and that terrifies me in Witcher. Like I feel like I have to get the good
and
ending. You know?
especially since in The Witcher there's no like good evil decisions.
It's
purely
it's so
like,
it's so just two decisions that are
grey
both bad.
areas. Yeah, it's choosing the lesser evil, and sometimes like it's the whole issue of what is like the correct thing to do isn't necessarily the like morally right thing to do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like
Although
I
sometimes it
recently,
is.
and this isn't really a spoiler, but I recently like it's kind of a spoiler if you're, I don't know, following a certain quest line or something, but like it's just a bit off to the side, one of the very small quests. I killed a Scoia'tael unit, right?
Yeah,
I didn't want to kill the Scoia'tael unit,
yeah,
but at the same time I wasn't going to choose the option that like I could kind of see that I might have to kill them if I chose this option. Also, they had literally taken my weapons, so like killing them was no easy matter. I had to like run around for like 30 seconds dodging all of these arrows, then like roll in, steal a sword. Fucking, it was very intense. I burnt through like 9 potions in that battle.
yeah. I've done that before.
It was great. But yeah,
There's a few bits in the
it's
game.
good.
There's a few bits in the game where people are like, "Oh, come with us. We need to take your weapons away." And me, being me, I'm like, "Okay, well,
Yeah,
these,
sure.
these
I'm
guys
okay
don't
for
seem
okay.
like bad folk. They just want to take me to have a meeting with their boss, and
Yeah,
then they
exactly.
just attack me as soon as they take away my swords." I'm like, "Oh,
Ah, great.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna beat
and
them
then
up."
try doing that on Death March. Like you punch a
Yeah,
sword and you take
but-
half your health.
Oh,
worth
holy
of damage.
shit! Right. A few tips for exploring. Skellige is the best place for one thing. So
Oh
when you get
yeah,
there-
I'm very excited. That's
Have-
the
have much
last
enjoyed
area
that.
in the game, though. I like that there's like
is
quests
it?
that are like, oh, this is a level 24 quest, and you're currently level 4. Guess you're gonna have to wait. And I'm like, god damn, you have to wait.
Yeah. But I think it's kind of the pacing. I think the only issue I have is with the pacing of side quests in the main story. I think they should have made you do more side quests
Oh really?
to advance the story. Yeah, because by the time I'd done like a few side quests, I was like over leveled for the story
Oh
by
really?
quite a bit. That's why
Oh, wow.
I rushed it towards the end. Because if I'd done any more side quests,
See, I
then-
don't find that at all, but I think that's because my ass.
that's because you're quite early in the game.
Yeah, maybe that's the thing. Yeah, see,
I
I
think.
I mean, I've done all of the side quests. I've done like everything up to moving through, and I'm I'm very nearly level 5, and it says you're recommended level 5 for when you start the Cyrilla quests. Like,
Yeah.
like so I'm
Might
like
have spoiled
almost
warning.
under leveled, but yeah, that's not really a spoiler.
Yeah, but it's like by the time I was doing like the final section of missions, I'd done like a few side quests, but not like, as I say, like 30% of side quests.
Yeah.
And I was like 5 levels ahead of the final boss,
Wow.
and I could just wreck him
Wow.
so hard.
Oh man, that's kind of funny.
So
Do you,
yeah.
does it? I guess it's kind of a spoiler, but does it leave you off to go back into the world after you beat the boss, or does it end?
Yes, but not in the way that I would have liked.
Okay.
The
Alright.
problem, this is another problem I have. The ending is great, but the after ending, like it
Isn't.
puts you back in the world, but without the proper context. It's like everyone's story is concluded, and it would make sense for Geralt to be back. No matter which ending it is, it would make sense for you to be back in the world. But it
Spoiler.
doesn't. The world doesn't. It's not really a spoiler because they've already said that you go back to the world anyway.
Oh, damn.
The way it does it, it's like a lot of stuff happens in the story that should change the world quite a bit, but not like so much that it would be unreasonable for them to actually implement it.
Oh, my game's broke. Okay. Yeah.
But it just puts you back like pre-final mission stages,
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like, yeah.
and I can't quest after that. I just can't. bring myself to play it because it's like, no, the story's over.
Yeah.
I don't want this continuity crap. So yeah.
I know what you mean. I get what you mean. Yeah. I don't know. I'm very much the other way. Like I definitely just want to consume everything in the game. I'm like that in most games. Like I have to do every quest. You know, can't finish something. I have to beat every single little thing, and then I'll go and finish the game. Like especially in something like The Witcher, I'm more like that than in any other game because there's so much to do, and it's like they put little question marks on the map, and if it's not a question mark, then the place where you get like the other like side quests from, pretty obvious because it's just like, you know, locations out in the wilderness that look interesting, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm fully determined to like min max that game and beat everything, but I'm kind of disappointed by the idea that I might be over leveled for the boss fight, but then I'm playing on the harder difficulty.
You're playing on the hardest, but even then, I just it's kind of
I think what I'll do. Wow, this is incredible. I think what I'll do then is I'll likely like just undergear myself, if that makes sense. Like because you know how like you know how the skill system works, right? Like I really like that they've kind of taken a bit out of Guild Wars actually for the skill system, in that you have to explore to gain more ability points, which is genius. I think that's so great for a game like that because it encourages the exploration, and that's just fantastic, right? Like that's a great idea. Yeah, and I really like that, and it makes the leveling seem balanced as well, because like you can't over level yourself though, because you have to be a certain level to a certain amount of points. And if I want to under level myself to make the game harder, which I will definitely do if it becomes too easy, because that's how the game's fun for me. The prep and the research, and the like, in general, just the preparation for monsters is like half the fun for me, you know.
Yeah.
Like I spent an hour getting ready to fight the Griffin, and because of
the
that,
emphasis on
better.
preparing for fights is one of the things that makes The Witcher's gameplay so good.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of what the game is, and people who don't do that, I feel like it spoils the game for them. You know, I feel like you'll have a lesser experience for the most part because of that.
Yeah.
But then they don't force you to, which is also, you know, good as well.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand like people who are like big Skyrim fans or whatever, you know, casual noobs who would
I remember that, yeah.
Play, who don't like the whole preparation angle and would play it.
I mean, to each their own, right? Like it's good that they allow for both, and they seem to allow for both pretty well, which is also impressive, you know. It's just an incredible game. I've been hearing like pretty much nothing but good things.
Yeah, it is one of the best RPGs.
The bad things people have to say, I look at it, I'm like, I don't care. That doesn't affect me in any way. You know?
Yeah. And I mean, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but the story conclusion for me was so good. Yeah. And I was so happy with it.
I just found it great. The fact that I could have so much fun. Like the first area for me, the first area could have been a whole game that I'd have paid money for.
Oh yeah.
And I'd been happy. You know, what other game can you say that about? What game can you say? The starting area, the tutorial area, was just as fun as a full game.
A good like 8 to 10 hours of content in there.
Yeah, literally, it took me 10 hours to beat it, to beat everything in it. It's like not quite 10 hours. It was about 6 hours, but I knew what everything was, and kind of like I played through it once, so I know what I was doing. And it was like 6 hours, I think, of like episodes of me playing.
That's like a Call of Duty campaign.
Exactly, and there was so much depth. There was so much like I want to see the herbalist later on, and I want to see like somebody that I saved later on. Because, you know, like I know that they're gonna pay me off some of those things, because that's what those games do, and it's gonna be so fantastic. Yeah, it's like a must buy, I think, really.
It really is. It's one of the best RPGs I've ever played. Yeah. I don't think it is the best RPG I've ever played, though.
Oh, really?
No.
What's the best, then?
I don't know. I think Dark Souls is probably...
Does it for you?
In terms of pure like gameplay.
Yeah, I think that's a very taste-based thing, you know?
Yeah.
People, yeah.
But I am still like a massive Witcher fan.
Yeah, see, I think... I haven't played Dark Souls games yet, and I am waiting to play them, because I think they're... pretty much exactly my kind of game.
Yeah, I think they really are as well.
Yeah, like, and I know the kind of game I like. You know, I know I'm gonna like those games, and I'm looking forward to enjoying them all, and then ranting and raving about how good they are.
Type.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's great. Anything else you've been playing at all?
The Vanishing of Ethan Carter, I've been playing through, the most beautiful
I've heard that
game.
name a lot of times, but I know nothing about it.
Right, so it is you play essentially like mystic detective, I guess.
A mystic
And you
detective.
go to this, you go to this amazing looking place that I think is like in Germany somewhere, but it doesn't really tell you much about it. And you're there to solve something, and that is literally all the pretext the game gives you. And there's like some murders been happening in this place, and you have to figure out why, and you do it by piecing together clues in your head. But the game has like
Right.
no tutorial whatsoever, which makes it very difficult to figure out what the puzzles actually are. Before, and you have to figure that out before you can solve them, obviously. But they're very
Oh, okay. No,
contextual.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
But it makes for a really interesting experience. Sometimes frustrating.
Yeah. A lot of those games
because
often are though. I think
yeah,
it's very hard to balance a game like that where it's like you want so hard to make it in a certain way. You may make it challenging this way and like do those things with it, but then to do that without actually just having it be really stupidly frustrating is
yeah.
really difficult to balance. And it's
But
like
I think
something few games like do
yeah,
properly.
the highlight of the Vanishing Youth though is definitely the aesthetic like look of the game.
Yeah.
It is the prettiest game I have ever seen.
When did it come out? It was a few years ago now, wasn't it?
I think it was like 7 months ago ish.
Oh, maybe I'm just like losing track of life.
Maybe it was longer. I don't know. Probably about a year ago. But that just the look of it is so beautiful. Like I have even The Witcher 3 doesn't
Doesn't
look
compare. Wow.
as good. I mean,
Wow.
The Witcher, like games like The Witcher 3 and Crisis.
Oh yeah,
3
they look
and
good. But
Battlefield.
is it
Graphically,
the
they look better than it.
stylistically, it's amazing, is what you're saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is
See, so
what I'm saying.
I would argue that something like, and this is very personal to me, but something like Ratchet and Clank, A Crack in Time, was one of the best looking games I ever played because the style of it was so perfect. They took like the Ratchet and Clank style that they used to that like I've known for so many years and just perfected it. You know, it was like perfect amount of color, perfect amount of brightness. Like the fact that when you were running around the smaller planets, you could see off in the background the other planets that you were about to go and explore and stuff. And it was just it was pretty much like the peak of what I think the PlayStation 3 could achieve up there with things like Uncharted and stuff like that. And it was just it was great stylistically, and that's
Especially
I know what
back
people
then.
mean about style. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I think games with really great style and not so great graphics will always hold up a lot better. Like
Yeah, they do.
Team Fortress 2.
They hold up over time. Yeah, it does not. Yeah,
This kind of thing.
like I don't know, Counter Strike never had the best graphics, but
Yeah,
it knows
you
what
compare-
it's doing. It's precise and it's minimal and it works perfectly. Like people still play 16-bit, 8-bit games. You know, game can have as few pixels as you want as long as it's done stylistically well.
Yeah.
People will still play it. You know, like
It's the problem. It's the problem with like trying to go for realistic graphics, because
because realistic graphics like burn out.
yeah,
Like
Armor,
your realistic
you look
graphics
at the Armor series.
six years on aren't realistic looking.
Yeah, the Armor series, like Armor 2, which came out in what 2006 or 7, looked amazing at the time.
Yeah, now it doesn't.
Yeah, whereas Team Fortress 2 looks as good as it's ever looked.
Yeah, it looks good at the time and it looks good now. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, definitely. I know exactly what you mean there. And that's about it for you then this week.
Oh, no anime.
Oh no, I was talking as in like games.
Alright, okay.
I haven't even started on anime yet.
Oh god, this is
Yeah.
where the true video begins.
Yeah, no,
the anime obsession.
I was gonna say like I've pretty much just been playing Witcher. I haven't played it as much as you, but like I said, I've been playing it like much more exploratively.
Yeah.
And I will eventually, probably like in a few weeks of beating that game. I think it'll take me about 6 weeks, but that's just a sign of a good game, right?
Yeah.
Other than that, I've been playing. I got back into Dota, which is nice. Like I've been
Yeah.
playing 1 or 2 every couple of days, which is good. And it's like nice to be getting back into that because I had such like a lull from Dota that it's
Yeah, me too.
just refreshing to get back in. You know, I've also been playing CS with friends, but not nearly enough to talk about it.
Yeah, I'm a bit like that. Like everyone I play Counter Strike with takes it so seriously,
And I don't.
I'm just
Yeah,
there
I'm
like,
like,
YOLO.
yeah, exactly. I know.
running around.
Like Will just hit Golden AK, and I'm like, oh
Oh,
god.
holy shit.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, Civilian Master, I can't be bothered to like just now. If I play with you, I'm just getting wrecked, and that's just effort.
Yeah.
I'll just play. Actually, there you go. That leads me on perfectly to Dirty Bomb, which is the Battlefield, Brink, Call of Duty, Counter Strike all in one. And I literally mean that because it's got like Battlefield's class system. In fact, Battlefield/TF2 for classes, and then like Counter-Strike for the way some of the shooting works, but then Call of Duty for the way some of it handles, and then Brink for the parkour. And it's like such a weird mess, but it all kind of works, you know? In the end of it,
Yeah.
like it all comes together and feels like a complete package.
I haven't played any of it yet because I have like this thing against early access at the moment, where
I kind
after
of
like
get
Daisy, I'm like, no, I'm done. I want to wait till stuff comes out, which is kind of depressing since I really want to play Rust. But
Yeah.
I've been holding off because of early access.
I get that. I can get behind not playing early access games. I've tried to limit myself a lot. I bought into it early because it was good for making videos on games that were early on.
Yeah.
And a lot of my best videos have come out of that. As do a lot of things, because you have to get on games early when you record them, right? But then,
Yeah.
other than that, it does pain me a lot of the time. Like it's not often that I'm rewarded for buying something in early access. You know, like things like the only games that I find rewarding are games that I get into a lot and play a little bit over time. Like Nuclear Throne, I play like half an hour to an hour a day now, and I've owned it for a year and a half, and I've played it a little bit over time. And like, I love the game. I love the game when I bought it at the start. I love the game now, and I've just watched it progress, and it's got better and better and better. And now it's to the point where I play it all the time, and it's almost out, and it's just like, so when early access works, it works.
Star Citizen.
Yeah, but Dirty Bombs, it's decent. Like everything in it is decent. I'm not going to comment too much on it because I'm not the best person to talk about shooters and stuff. But from a casual perspective, I can see myself playing that as well as Counter-Strike, because I don't take Dirty Bomb as seriously as I have to take Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
But it's like there's still definitely the competitive edge there if you want to do it. You know?
It's the Heroes of the Storm to Dota.
Yeah, it is exactly the Heroes of the Storm state. That's pretty much the exact comparison there, really. But it's good, you know. I enjoy Heroes of the Storm. I enjoy Dirty Bomb. I play more Dota than I do Heroes of the Storm, and I play more Counter-Strike than I do Dirty Bomb. But
they're still good.
They still fit, you know.
They hit that
is
extra
indeed
niche.
a good thing. Yeah, they fill a hole, which is what they needed to do, and they both do it really well. And yeah, other than that, I've been playing like buttloads of Nuclear Throne, which is really fun. I think the daily added to that more than I thought it would. Because like the daily challenge has become like a really competitive thing. There's a website called ThroneButt, which counts the amount of times that you've been number one at the end of a day. So like there's like the top players in the world have like the top players in the world have like a competitive thing going on. I'm trying to like keep myself in like top 5% of players and stuff. Like, you know, my better days I'm sort of like top 6%, top 8%. My worst days, which is most like every day, I'm sort of like 30%, you know.
Yeah, it's a good way to keep people playing.
I don't know, it's such an incredibly well designed game. It's a game that's just like, if you were going to teach a lesson on game design, I'd pick that out as an example to teach you some things, because there's so many things in it you can pick out that it does well in terms of like game design, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's very obvious because it's a smaller game that where you can just be like, look at this particular thing, it does this, and it does it so well. And it is a lot of fun, and it's still a little bit frustrating in areas. Like there is one or two things in the game that can kind of kill you when it's not on screen. Like there's two things I think that can kill you when you're not on screen. So there's no way of you knowing that it's coming. Like it's like something, a Yeti will throw a car at you from like off the screen, and that happened to me in a recent episode, which is why I'm so salty about it right now. But that really frustrates me in the game, because it's like I had no way of seeing that coming. I had no way of knowing it's coming. I don't mind things that insta kill me or things that like do that, but tell me when it, like I have to know that that's a possibility so I can prepare myself for it. Because if you're not prepared for something like that, then it's not fun, you know. Beyond the first time it happens to you. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing, all that I can think of at the moment anyway. Other than Moonrise, which is like a Pokemon-like, but I don't want to talk about that yet because I don't think I have enough like opinions on it. It's decently fun, but I need to criticize it more. Oh, actually, one thing I want to talk about. You don't have an iPhone, do you? You have a poopy phone.
I have an Android phone.
Yeah, you have a poopy phone.
Yay.
But there's a game on iOS that's come out recently. I don't know if it's on Android, but it's called Skiing, and it's the most addictive thing. Like it's literally you just hold the like middle of the screen, and that your character like skis straight, and then like it's just like as you move towards the left and right sides of the screen at the bottom of your thumb, like you sort of like brake more and more frantically with the skis, more and more vigorously. There you go. That's what I'm thinking. And it feels like skiing, you know? I've only been snowboarding once, but it's the same feeling. And they've
An
like
iOS skiing simulation.
I know, but they've nailed the feeling of it so well, and it's just this nice, cutesy little pixel art. And the idea is you're like hunting for a yeti, which is cute, and it's just a very good iOS game. I've become like a little bit addicted to that in the last like 2 days.
I don't.
Yeah.
Literally, the only games I play on my phone are just puzzle games. Like, that's it.
Yeah,
it's all I will ever play.
To be fair, I play like a good amount of puzzle games too. I think puzzle games are they're just good fun to play, aren't they? It's like the perfect kind of like threes. The amount of time I've got in threes. Oh, and that Tetris game.
Oh, the Tetris game.
Yeah.
I don't know the name of it.
10-10 or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's 10-10. Yeah.
Yeah, that is a great game. It's like
so
Tetris
fun.
in a cube. It's hard to explain, but it's a very very good game. Like it surprises me. Like every time I play it, it surprises me how much how much there is to it. You know.
Yeah.
Like when I first played it, I was like, what's my top score?
Yeah.
I think it's about 4,000.
Yeah, mine's about there as well.
Yeah, I haven't played it like as much as I did. It was really great for when I was on nights out and needed the toilet. I just go sit in the toilet and play around with that. And when I finished the round, I was sober enough to leave.
Like a gangster.
Legit, it's good. Yeah, that's a really good mobile game actually. God, I think I'm gonna go toilet and play that after this.
Okay, I didn't really need to that way. Okay.
No, you did. It's useful information, you know. Is this? No, it's nothing. Yeah. So right. Games can be done now. Let's talk about anime because I'm very much in the mood to talk about anime. We've already discussed it, but
it's because Code Geass. You just finished it.
Let's just discuss Code Geass for a while.
Are we gonna do a spoiler-free thing or full spoilers?
When did it come out? It came out in 2010, right?
Yeah. So
no, because we're doing a brief thing on anime, and it's gonna be briefer, and it's gonna be convincing people that it's good. So let's try and explain why Code Geass is incredible. There you go.
Code Geass is good because it has amazing plot twists, a great story,
incredibly well developed
animation.
Characters.
Yeah, very well developed characters, a unique art style.
Yeah, I think
and robots that fight each other. Sometimes.
Yes, exactly. It is the perfect balance between robots punching each other in the face and incredibly strategic smartness and good story with characters. It's like I feel I like the not a hero, you know, like antagonist protagonist type thing that goes like it's kind of a similar thing with The Witcher, and like I love Geralt as a character, you know.
Yes.
I love trying to be Geralt because Geralt's an interesting character to try and be.
Yeah.
Code Geass does the same thing in that
getting yourself into the mindset.
Yeah, Lelouch, the main character, is a very interesting character. And
also, his name's Lelouch.
Lelouch. What did I call him? Lelouch.
It's just
what did I say?
Name.
Oh, just such a good. Oh, I thought you said I pronounced it wrong. Yeah, no, Lelouch is a great name. It makes me very happy. But yeah, the voice acting in that's really good as well. Yeah, God, and so Suzuku. Suzuku is a good name too.
Well, I watch it in Japanese, so I can't really comment on the voice acting that much.
I was commenting on the Japanese voice acting.
Oh, fair.
I don't know.
I mean, I can't
watch dubs.
Really judge. I can watch some dubs. The Cowboy Bebop dub that I've been watching is really, really good.
Since I started watching subs, dubs feel so backwards because there's not the initial passion that there was in the voice. Like, cause it's
true.
When you read the subtitles, it's hard to explain. It sounds really but when you read the subtitles and you hear the voice acting, it kind of all amalgamates in your head.
I don't know. I think it's just the kind of bombastic way that Japanese people act it. It's just it's so over the top.
The dub just doesn't fit, you know. It doesn't. It doesn't fit in the same way that it should. But yeah, it's like I often feel like when I'm watching it that I'm actually steps behind Lelouch, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm watching it and I'm missing things because I'm not smart enough to get it.
Yeah, especially in the final episodes.
which I don't get in any other TV show because everything else that I watch, I go, I see that coming, or I know, you know, you kind of know this, like, even you just kind of know what's happening. You know what characters are thinking. You can get inside that character and know what they are. Yeah. But when I'm watching this, I'm like, shit. Am I on the same line as you, or are you way ahead of me? And like, there were very often times when the story kind of revealed what had happened, and I was like, whoa, you were like 2 steps ahead of me. That's crazy.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's not like you can't figure it out by watching it. It's just like so well done.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing where you watch it through again and you just go,
Yeah, yeah.
Because there are points where I was watching it where I was a little bit disappointed with certain things,
Yeah.
and then, and this is something that I've only found in anime, that where I feel disappointed watching something, and then I realize why that my disappointment was wrong,
Yeah, pretty much.
and it's odd to just be like, no, I was wrong. What I thought was wrong, but it was, because it's just cleverer than me. Um,
Yeah.
it's great. It's, I don't know. It's Gurren Lagann to strategy, and that's brilliant.
It's like the best way to describe it to anime fans who haven't seen it but who have seen other anime is like a cross between Death Note and Gurren Lagann. That is what Cooking
Yeah,
Mess is.
that's definitely a good way to put it. Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, and for people who don't watch anime, think Game of Thrones meets
You can't really.
Game of Thrones meets Sherlock with no, not Godzilla. What's a good?
If Game of Thrones was set in Star Trek universe
Yes.
and the main character was
Sherlock Holmes.
but
Yes.
as a teenager.
As a teenager in high school, because that's how Japan works.
Yeah, that's.
To be fair, I do actually really like that all anime is set in high schools, because it makes
I've
I'd
watched
something
so
about
many of them now. There's just like no, like so I've been watching this series called Fate, right?
Yeah.
So I watched Fate Zero first, which is essentially the prequel to the main series, which is called Fate Stay Night. And I watched Fate Zero. I was like, oh, this is really good. It doesn't take place in a high school. It's got really interesting like, themes. The characters are really good. The story's great. It's just a really cool concept. And it gets to the second series, it's just like, oh, it's a high school anime now, and it just got so much worse for me because of that.
It's good though. It's still good. We like the high school themes. We do. Our brains tell us no, but our bodies tell us yes.
Although saying that, I did recommend you a freaking furry romance anime, so
You
I
did
can't
actually. You're like,
Spikes
now I know I'm about to recommend you a furry anime, but you should totally watch this furry anime.
Is it wrong that some of my favorite animes have furries?
I don't think it is. I mean, I'll quite happily admit that One Piece is like up there for me in anime, and it's terrible in so many ways, but so good.
Like
but
one of my
it's
favorite,
so good.
One of my favorite anime films is Wolf Children. I don't know if you've seen it.
I have not.
But that has some furry romance scenes, and it's like I shouldn't be enjoying this,
but I am.
but it's so good.
Yeah. No, it is. It is very good. And yeah, Code Geass was great. And while we're here, Parasite. Parasite was.
Oh, Parasite.
Parasite. I enjoyed Parasite for a very different reason. Because Parasite was very concise in what it offered.
Yeah.
Very down to earth in the way it presented
very
things.
realistic
Yeah.
in the way it represents everything.
Yeah, like it really was as well. Like.
That's what makes it so good, because in a lot of like sci-fi type stories,
but
the characters
it still had it still had the satisfying shonen punch in there.
Oh yeah, it does.
Which was nice.
In a lot of sci-fi stuff, the characters you can tell that their dialogue is just to drive the story forward rather than a realistic thing that they would do.
Exactly.
Whereas in Parasite, it's like they would actually do that. That's
yeah,
really cool.
Dialogue was there because that's how dialogue works. You know,
exactly.
Like what was the? Oh yeah, I was gonna say, you know when Geralt's tracking someone in The Witcher, right?
Yes.
And he'll talk to himself, right?
Yeah.
And I summed that up to Doctor Who when he talks to the assistant. The reason the assistant's there in Doctor Who is so that he can explain what's going on, and you can be like, oh wow, that's really cool, you know? Because the assistant is basically there to be you, you know? You're meant to stand there in the assistant's shoes. You know, when Geralt talks, he talks to you, the player. But in Parasite, it doesn't really do that. It respects you. It respects the viewer in the same way that the Witcher games respect the player, and they expect you to be able to do some stuff on your own, which is great.
Yeah, it gives you subtle hints about stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's good though. Parasite's a very good anime to start. I think it's up there with. I'd recommend it as one of the best starting anime, probably the best starting anime I've watched. I think for people who haven't watched it before.
I'd say thinking about the best anime to start people on, because the main thing that people don't get about it is like the initial culture shock, I guess, of like the plots being different and a lot of the themes being different, that kind of stuff. But
that's what I mean. As in Parasite didn't feel as much like an anime as it did like a.
But the thing I'd have trouble recommending it to newcomers because of the whole weird hand shit. if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Like
I
to people
suppose
who
so.
haven't seen a lot of that stuff, it'd be like, whoa, what the hell?
Maybe that's
People would be a bit freaked
maybe it's
out.
because I'm more acclimatized that I say that that's not that abnormal.
Yeah,
Because if you ignore that, it's very much a more regular kind of show. Like I
yeah.
had Full Metal Alchemist was a good starting anime, but
Yes, that is a very good start anyway.
it wasn't the best because it does still have a lot of anime tropiness to it.
Yeah.
Um, and then
Oh,
I don't know, it's hard to recommend a great starting anime. I think it's
I
more
know
that
a
if you
good
like
one.
if you're willing to commit to anime, you'll like anime. You know,
Steins Gate is a great starting
is it?
anime.
I need to watch that. I
Yes.
haven't actually
You
seen
haven't seen
it yet.
Steins Gate? Oh,
No,
Steins Gate's good.
yeah, I'm
It's
looking
not
forward
the
to it.
best anime ever, but it's the best time travel
Best
anime ever.
travel anime ever. It's a good start.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess for me, the reason I got started was because of Avatar and when I was a kid, you know? It's because I'd been exposed to anime as a kid and wanted to come into it because of that.
Yeah.
Because I know that I liked it as a kid and it was like a.
Oh my god,
Go back.
but Avatar isn't anime, you
Yeah,
blasphemer.
but it's a fucking cartoon with characters, you know? It'll do.
Digimon all the way for me.
Oh, yes.
Digimon was for the cool kids.
I'm actually going to. I fucking
Pokemon.
watched Digimon. I have Digimon freaking bed sheets. Yeah.
You still have Digimon?
Not anymore, but I have used
I
them
bet you do.
at points in time. Didn't take them to university because I didn't think that'd go
Wrap
down,
out sometimes.
go down all that well.
Whenever you seduce a lady,
Just
you,
bring
you,
'em- just
you
bring
put
'em
on
back.
the Digimon bedsheets.
Yeah, no, I flip them over so they go to the like mega evolutions of the, and they're like, holy shit, that's amazing. I'm like, yeah, that's my style. God, I want to watch Digimon again because Digimon went full Gurren Lagann when they just went crazy with the Pokemon.
Oh, yeah. There's a new Digimon series coming out as well.
So actually,
Yeah, and
tell you what, there you
brand
go.
new one.
That's where you start your anime. You watch Digimon, not
Yeah,
Pokemon.
even though it's for children.
Nah, nothing is for children. One Piece is for children, and I watch that weekly.
Now,
It's fantastic.
I don't want to say One Piece. It
It
is
could
for children,
be. It could
but
be
it's
for
not
children. It's not
just for
watched by
children.
children. It's. I don't know. It's
It's like,
good.
is Hunter x Hunter for children?
Oh no, Hunter x Hunter is the best thing that's ever happened
Pro-
to anyone.
From the first.
Although I think
we're going
I don't-
off on a bit of a detour here, but
I don't care. I don't know if it is, but I get this feeling that Hunter x Hunter might. I don't know if Hunter x Hunter beats Code Geass in my head right now. I'm just really struggling with these two.
I think it. I think once you rewatch Hunter x Hunter,
I
it
think
does.
I think so. I think it's because the world of Hunter x Hunter is so incredible that I just
Yeah.
want more of it.
I
um,
just love the pacing of it
I just,
so much.
I don't know. I'm just so infatuated with Lelouch as a character right now that I can't seem to appreciate anything else that isn't Lelouch. Like,
yeah.
that
Watch
is
Death Note again.
oh, just what a character. Just what a character, you know? Like,
It's like, yeah.
and you don't appreciate it fully until you watch the whole 2 series. you
That
know?
is now like a staple character trope. The hyper intelligent chess playing, like
It is a character trope, yeah.
genius.
But I don't know if it probably wasn't the first to do it. I don't know. Probably definitely
Death
won't be the
Note
last.
popularized
But
it.
when did Death Note come out? Because
Oh, Death Note was like 2007.
was it okay? Because Geas was like
It started in 2007 and finished in
2010ish, yeah.
2009 or 10. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, God. I don't know. At least I've got more Hunter x Hunter coming, even if there's no.
Even if there's a 10-year wait.
Yeah, we may never see R3, but we'll definitely see Hunter x Hunter 2018 or something.
maybe even further than that.
Oh, crazy.
Apparently the creator is just off playing some Asian MMO.
What?
Just can't be bothered.
No.
Can't be bothered finishing.
Ah, you can't
the-
do
the
that to me.
drawings.
We need to ban MMOs in Asia
Ban MMOs.
so we get more anime. Get more good anime.
But yeah, the pacing of Hunter x Hunter, I just can't get over how like
Fuck.
completely absurd but amazing it is. The way the first 30 episodes are almost like a kids show.
Yeah,
And-
no, they kind
and
of are,
suddenly
aren't
it
they?
turns like ridiculously dark.
Yeah, and then they
What the
are.
hell?
I don't know. It feels like it has Hunter x Hunter has the potential to be One Piece long.
It does.
If you
It
know what I mean,
definitely
like
does.
if you watch the first 150 episodes of One Piece and you watch the first 150 episodes or the only 148 episodes of Hunter x Hunter, you will actually sort of realize that they are like very similar in pacing a lot of the time, but Hunter x Hunter
Yeah.
does it better.
Yeah.
They put that Hunter x Hunter, does what
The
One Piece does
pacing.
in 500 episodes in 148, but it's still
Yeah.
still brilliant.
Another reason it's oh god, could just talk about Hunter x Hunter for so long because it's just so good. But another probably the best thing about it for me is how well like the magic and fighting system is explained.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
it makes
the
you
f-
understand
that
the battles
that
on a way
without
that's not
spoilers,
just
but
a
that one bit where it's like 10 seconds is like an episode,
yeah,
and you're just like,
and you fully
you're
understand
sat
what's
there,
going
you're sat
on.
there, you're like, oh my god, this 10 seconds is the best 10 seconds that's ever been written ever. There has
Yeah,
never been a 10 seconds this good, ever. Like,
literally. The way at the end of the episode it just says, and that was all in 10 seconds. It's like you.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
And it's
great.
like, and then they walked outside of that room because they'd only been in there 10 seconds, and you're like, huh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's yeah, it's, oh, it's
Anyway, that's.
yeah,
I think
that's
it. I think the audience
maybe
will
we
have
should
heard
maybe we
enough
should
of
wrap up on
Hunter x
anime.
Hunter.
I think I just
Yes.
need to I need to vent about anime. I don't get enough space to vent about how good it is, you
You're
know.
talking about games for so long that you
I
need
know,
these
man.
extra pleasures.
So many internet pleasures. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you tuned in, this will be a somewhat weekly show. Expect to see George back at some point, right?
Yes, at some point.
Yeah,
I
you
will
should go
provide
listen
you with
to his music
as
if you
well.
want. It'll be linked in the description where you can go listen to his musical stuff.
It's
So
really
yeah,
good, I promise.
thank you very much for watching. Slowfips is saying that Love Hina is best anime ever, and we'll see you all next week. Well, I'll see you next week. George will see you eventually.
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 Wait, that sounds a bit creepy.
What eventually?
I'll see you
Eventually.
eventually.
Just like.
Okay.
Oh god, I don't even want to end it on that because now people are going to be like scared of you, right?
No, I'm a really nice guy.
Lovely and warm.
I don't have any weird murderous tendencies.
All right. Goodbye, internet.